talking about Cam Newton and him signing for another year in New England, you had some Boston sports radio hosts, which it's epic when you're up there listening to sports radio, because even the callers, it's fantastic. I was there one year listening. I was sitting in the car listening. My son's playing hockey, and it was one caller. It was like, if Jimmy G goes 4-0, you got to have him start after Brady comes back. Like, they just insisted that Jimmy G was going to be the future of this team, even though it's Tom Brady is still on your team. That's how crazy the callers are. But on 98.5, the Sports Hub, criticism of Cam Newton went a little further. Some of the hosts said of the Patriots, quote, the big free agent selling point is you get to come here and go shoe shopping with Cam Newton. Like, that's one of the criticisms of having Cam Newton, I guess. They don't sound thrilled that he's back. And it's bizarre to me because Cam Newton went from a guy who's an MVP, who actually I remember last year when the Patriots did sign him, the feeling was, oh, Belichick's going to get this guy, turn him right back into MVP. He's still got something left in the tank. By the end of the season, he's washed. So is he just not being received well in New England because it's New England? Or is he just a quarterback that they feel like this is not going to get us to the next, to be competitive again, which is what the Patriots are used to?
Key, before you even go, what did I say yesterday on the show when we were all just rapping? I looked at you, I was like, I just don't think some people on Boston.
You worked yesterday?
Friday. Actually, I would have did liners. Yeah, I did liners yesterday and the day before, so I did work. But I said, man, it just feels like some people in Boston just don't want Cam to win. Don't want him to win. Not at all.
How could you be a Patriots fan and not want your team to win?
Felt that way. Feels that way.
For me, it's a lot deeper than just Cam Newton not wanting him to win. I don't know which talk show host, newspaper, whoever it was, when Cam first signed on. They were critiquing his outfits, his post-game pressers. If, we hope that, and I'm paraphrasing,
a scarf,
here,
a brooch, and a handbag isn't something you wear?
Yeah, it was something about his scarf and his style in the post-game that's not the Patriot way, and I wonder if he can get Belichick to do all of those things. I like to call it coded language. I get it.
Dog whistle?
That's the way, dog whistle. That's the way those people think. And it's not all Bostonians, but it's enough of them that make you go, It ain't Bill Belichick, and it's not the New England Patriots organization. But I think when you start to look at those comments that you just read about shoe shopping, and I saw the video, and when they mentioned shoe shopping, they panned to his football cleats. And his football cleats had different references of the unjust, Black Lives Matter, the things that we've been dealing with in our country forever, basically, not just this past year. And it make you go, well, what are they saying? What are you saying? When you pan to his cleats and you make the reference of going shoe shopping with Cam Newton, as if that's a bad thing that he's wearing those shoes in Boston. Now, I could dive into it a lot deeper. I think it's certain fraction of people, and not just in Boston, but in certain states, at certain positions, in particular at quarterback, that have not warmed up to having a black quarterback lead their franchise when they've had something different for so long, winning championships. And you say to me, what if Cam was 15-1 and they went to the Super Bowl? How would they feel? I don't know how they would feel. I only know what I see. And what I see and what I hear is different.
I don't like the idea of a couple of sports talk radio hosts representing the majority of fans or people in that region. I think, look, as you mentioned, there's factions of it. I grew up with that around me. All right. So I'm not even going to try to pretend like, oh, that doesn't exist anymore. Yeah, it does. It does exist.
Absolutely.
I mean, there was a lot of stuff that popped up over the weekend, too, even with the national anthem and somebody.
I get it.
All these little fragments just keep popping off.
Oh, you mean like the sports talk too?
Yeah, just randomly called the people kneeling, called them the N-word. You're like, wow.
In the
middle of the mic. Like the mic is hot.
No, not even the mic being hot. It was doing the national anthem.
Yeah.
So it was like, well, wait a minute, man. One thing or another, but Jay, it's been around. It's nothing new. We're talking about the Cam Newton situation. And like I said, there's a fraction of people that feel that way. And yes, maybe they don't want to hear you say it, but it's true.
But see,
They don't like to hear the truth. They just don't.
But see, Alan, I hear what your point, and I agree with you because I look at people through the complexity of who they are. But, like, listen to these three individuals literally sit up there and trash Cam Newton, trash him, run the car over him, put it in reverse, wheel it back, go back and forth. To use the terminology they use, it was almost like, hey, we didn't have a year where we had a pandemic. We didn't have a year that Cam actually had COVID. We didn't have any players on our team that decided to opt out. We didn't go into any details about some of the people he was throwing the ball to. Granted, there were a lot of plays he didn't play well, but it wasn't like, hey, let's put this whole thing in its entirety. It was like, he's washed, he's trash. Go shoot. I was like, damn, this is, it has to go to that degree now?
Yeah,
that's where we're at?
With a level of vitriol that was pretty strong, and that's what I guess would heighten some questions about what they were actually saying